Welcome everyone. So we managed to get the Infernalist Magic Find based Autobomber back online after the patch. Basically there's been a variation or adjustment to the build, the classic build that's been circulating around from a few sources. I believe there was a Korean guy that originally came up with this idea. So full credit to him. I'll link all the videos where I got the information from in the description to give credit where credit's due. But basically we've adjusted the previous setup, and as you can see here we've got it back to a functioning state. But jump ahead to the boss fight. The boss fight is a little bit slower simply because I don't quite have the gear and time to really optimize everything to the level that probably needs to be to kill him much quicker, but it's still at a reasonable level here, you can see. But anyway, I'll give a very quick look at the mapping as well. And this is actually running with the Maxroll's shield, so we're running a full Magic Find setup here and it's still clearing pretty well. Yeah, you can see it's proof that I'm wearing the shield. So yeah, works quite well. Very quick recap for those that didn't follow along with my previous video. Basically, this build is an Infernalist based Autobomber, and one of the key benefits that we get by using the Infernalist is due to our Ascendancy HP to Spirit conversion node, we can actually run a non-scepter based offhand, which means we can run this shield and basically get a lot more Magic Find in our setup for mapping. Just very quickly, the Ascendancy node in question is this one. I don't want to jump into too many more details regarding the build. The way we basically get that Spirit is through that node as well as Spirit on the helmet. And that's about it. The only other changes as well in the setup is, since we've got slightly less Spirit still than Blood Mage would with a Scepter, we run Cast on Shock instead of Cast on Critical, which is why I suspect the bossing may be a bit touch slower, but also I'm not running too much DPS on my Lightning Bolt. I know I've been hearing people running 50 to 100,000 damage here, so that would make a big difference as well. See the other video for the full breakdown of the build. I just want to really put out a quick update and highlight the key changes. You can also see the other authors' videos for potentially more details, but the key pieces are we've swapped out the rare boots for Trample Toe. The reason we do this in combination with Frost Wall on Cast on Shock rather than more Sparks is the crit loop of Choir of Storms got nerfed, so it cannot trigger itself. So what Frost Wall basically does in combination with these boots is provide a middleman for triggering more crits to re-trigger Choir of Storms. So what happens is Choir of Storms gets triggered by your Cast on Dodge Spark crits. It then does a whole bunch of shock damage. When the Cast on Shock triggers, it puts down a Frost Wall, which happens very quickly on bosses due to the increased energy gain that you get on bosses. The Lightning Bolt hits the Frost Wall. The Frost Wall has barely any HP. We only use a level 9 Frost Wall here. The overkill damage on the Trample Toes then causes spikes in damage as well as the shattering of the Frost Wall itself. That causes crits And those crits, since they're not triggered through the original bolt, then re-trigger Choir Storms, and that's how you get the loop back. Hope that made sense. Even if you don't understand, simply put these boots on, use Frostwall in the custom shock instead. Basically use here Icicle to have even less health so that they shatter quicker, and Cascade so that there's more of them placed down to increase the number of crits that can happen. Another change is putting in Brutality on the Spark cast. Debatable how important this is per se on bossing, since there's only one target source. But what this does is removes the ability of the sparks themselves cause shock, and makes the frost walls always come placed down where the bolts are happening. But I suspect you can actually get rid of this. Anyway, so put Trample Toes on, put Frost Wall in, put Brutality in on the cast on dodge. And then the other change we've made here is we've removed at series. The energy shield from this is great and all, but basically I found it a lot easier to replace it with a rare helm to cover the resistance requirements that were lost due to the boots. And we're still running close to 4K shield, so good enough. For bossing, where you don't need the magic find, some good replacements for the offhand to just boost damage and speed it up with something like Threaded Light, or otherwise something with just a lot of spell damage, lightning damage, and crit hit chance. I'd probably avoid plus levels, although I don't know, I haven't done the math or tested it. Plus levels to spells on the focus increases the level of the frost wall, increases the amount of health it has, so be a bit wary of that. And lastly, the other key important thing that you need is a percentage of damage as extra cold, fire, or lightning on your wand. I don't understand exactly how this helps a lot for bossing, but it does give a big boost in damage. There's probably some sort of behind the scenes interaction with the frost walls or trample toe overkill that is doubling up the number of crits, or it's doing something weird and providing a big boost of damage. So get that. Lastly, I've updated the Maxroll guide as well, and I'll provide a link to this video, but that's about it. Like I said, I just wanted to very quickly give an update without too much details. Have a look at all the links provided and the original video for more info. Anyway, like and subscribe as usual if you found this helpful, and all the best and good luck.